welcome to another Deals on Wheels, the only car programme that sorts out the nails from the nuggets.
Yes, welcome to the programme for anyone who wants to be able to tell the difference between a bargain and a bucket. Mike, what is on the show tonight?
The reliable and underrated Honda Concerto makes its first appearance on the show. Rich has a blast in the outrageous Citroen SM. And I slip behind the wheel of an old boys racer, the Rover P6.
The good thing is nobody knows whether you're taking the kids off down to the swimming pool or whether you're taking the lads to the heist.
But first, take a look at this.
In the late 50s and early 60s, and with a keen eye on the American market, Volvo launched the PV range of cars. Based openly on the more curvaceous Fords and Pontiacs of the time, it was a smash hit, and it's not hard to see why. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's easy to drive and simple to maintain. The P544 actually inspired Sweden to name the 25th of July National Volvo Day. How nice. Ann McCormick wants to sell a little piece of motoring history because she misses the ability to reach the national speed limit because it's only got 3 gears. Come on, come on.
My name's Anne. This is my Volvo PV544, which I'm sorry to see go, but I'm selling because I'd like to go back to a sports car. This is a 1964 model. They kept this body shape from the 40s until the 60s. The dashboard here is quite unusual. The speedometer works on a line version rather than a dial. And you can see that the lettering is all in Swedish. We have the original parking permit on the screen. You put the time that you've arrived, and then the wardens know how long you have to park. Bought the car because I was expecting a second child, and I didn't want to plump for the people mover and sell out, so I thought I'd get something a little bit different, but I'm lusting back for something a little more sporty. The car is so unusual that quite often people haven't even seen one before. It does have its advantages. Sometimes people stop and let you out in traffic just so they can get a closer look. Oh my word. I want £2,250 for my car, but I will negotiate for the right person because I'm very keen that it goes to a good home.
Volvo was so keen to break into the American market and never actually made any right-hand drive cars, despite the fact that Sweden themselves were driving on the left right until the end of production in 1965. Unsurprisingly, no PVs made it here to the UK, so when you do see swanning around, would be here on personal imports. So it's important to check that every car's got a UK registration document, MOT, and the import tax has been paid. Otherwise, you could be liable.
Pull the hood, Mike. Volvo PV544s come with 2 different engine sizes, 1.6 and 1.8 litres. Now, if you're looking at a 1.6, be wary because a number of the parts are very hard to find, not least water pumps and pistons. Well, Anna's car is the sportier 1.8 litre version, and believe it or not, her engine will be good for more than 200,000 miles if it's been properly looked after. If there's one thing you want to check under here, it's the oil filter situated down there. Now make sure it's a proper Volvo item, because reproduction units may not be designed properly, which could cause oil flow and engine wear problems.
Well, they've certainly got bags of character, but then so has Noddy's car, and I reckon it's only worth 1,900 quid.
Well, if you're after something completely different and ever so practical, then one of these can make a lot of sense. PV544s are rare in England, though, so prices are quite high. But I'd pay £2,000 for Anna's. Let's see what happens.
Got a buyer turning up any minute. Fingers crossed, they might buy the car.
I'm Andy, this is my wife Suzanne. We're here to see the Volvo PV544. Don't know much about old cars, but let's see how it goes.
Hi, Suzanne, hi. Nice to see you. Car's over here. You want to come and look?
All the silver trim and everything, it's lovely. And what about the rear view?
There are no wing mirrors, which was slightly perturbing.
I actually took them off because I thought it spoiled the lines of the car. Aesthetically, it's brilliant, but it's very difficult. It's just a bog standard 4-cylinder, single carb engine.
Right.
Do you want to take it out for a spin?
So 3 gears. I just never heard of it.
No, it's unusual.
You're itching to change gears. Sorry.
It's tolerant.
It'll need to be.
Oh God, this is very narrow then.
Tell me if I'm going to hit something. Oh! That's something. Yeah. No, most people don't drive like this. I am scaring you, aren't I?
Well, that's reverse.
That's reverse. What do you think?
I think it looks lovely. Well, no, I don't know engine-wise or anything, but I really like the shape. The colour's nice.
Andy and Suzanne like the car but think it needs some work. It's advertised for £2,250. Let's see what kind of deal they can get for it.
So try 18 with a maximum of 2. Provisional that it's only 500 quid's worth of work.
So Andy's just doing the boys' work and sorting out the dosh. I hope he sorts a good deal.
What I'd like to offer is about 18. That'd be my opening offer anyway.
Your opening gambit.
Yeah.
I would feel happy if Suzanne had it, but she's clouding my judgment seriously. I would much rather I didn't like her. I'd stand out for a higher price, but I guess I'd be okay with that.
Oh, no fist fights or anything.
No, life's too short. Life's too short.
That'd be great.
All right.
Okay, brilliant. Brilliant.
Well, the car's had its check over. There is some work to be done as we anticipated, but they're still going to buy it and they're coming along today to collect it.
So we're all set. Brown envelope.
Thank you. Used notes, still
Yeah,
wet.
absolutely.
I trust you, I won't count it. I'll take
Yeah.
those.
Use them in nightclubs and things, no one will ever know.
Fine.
If you could leave crashing till the way home.
Reverse is forward.
Yeah, first is where second is. Bye.
Nice little deal, and both parties seem very happy, even if the test drive was a bit rough. Now then, Rich, what have you got for us this week?
This, my friend, is a hybrid jewel, the likes of which just aren't made anymore. 30 years ago, Citroen acquired the ailing Italian supercar manufacturer Maserati, and together they created one of the most exotic and peculiar GTs of the 70s, the Citroen SM. Crossbreeding usually works quite well. Tomatoes are plumper, horses run faster, human beings can look quite gorgeous, but when it comes to cars, things get a bit crazy. This car was built by the French, it has an Italian thoroughbred engine, and it was styled by the Americans. It's weird. Look at this tiny steering wheel. It has variable power assistance, which means you get more assistance the faster you go. It also has just 2 turns from lock to lock, which is great when you're parking, but scary as hell at over 100 miles an hour. The inner headlights turn with the steering. The suspension's adjustable, the armrest is missing, there's a radio where you'd expect that to be, and the map reading light can be turned on with your knee. I mean, what do the French get up to in their cars? Thankfully, we do know what the Italians get up to in theirs. They're drivers, and Maserati made the engine. It's got a 2.7-litre V6 engine getting 190 horsepower. Well, nothing special in that, you might think, until you put it into the slipperiest body ever to grace a GT car. And that's when the SM starts to make sense. With a top speed of 135 miles an hour and 0 to 60 in under 9 seconds, it was the fastest front-wheel drive car in the world until its demise in 1975. On the road, the SM takes a bit of getting used to. Its hypersensitive controls and huge width make it a bit daunting in traffic, especially remembering that all SMs are left-hand drive. But once you get used to it, you begin to wonder why all cars aren't made this way. The handling is superb, the ride is amazing, it's got terrific grip, and with a bit of confidence, you can drive it like a sports car. And if you can find one of these with a leather interior and alloy wheels, jump on it. These very rare options were fantastically expensive when the car was new, and you just won't cut the mustard without them. So, what to look out for? Well, Citroens do rust, principally around their front and rear wheel arches, and they also dent very easily because they're wide and barrel-sided. But those sort of problems you'll see easily enough. The hidden nightmares are under here. Well, the good news is that SMs are actually very reliable if they've been looked after. But there are 4 things you really ought to look out for. Firstly, the engine. It ought to be absolutely quiet, whether it's hot or whether it's cold. Secondly, try and avoid a car with air conditioning, because aircon can put quite a lot of load on the engine and can damage it. Thirdly, if it hasn't got electronic ignition, you'll need to fit it, so check for the telltale metal boxes. And last but not least, try and avoid a fuel injection car, because they have the annoying habit of spontaneously bursting into flames. Other than that, you've got nothing to worry about. You can buy a really good Citroen SM for the same price as a modest new family car, about £10,000. At auction, you can find them for half that, but they'll be rusty, they'll be dented, the engines will be noisy, and any restoration will be certain financial suicide. If ever there was a case for buying the very best car you can, this is it.
Nice big motor, Richard, and with enough gadgets to keep even me happy. Join us after the break for more Deals on Wheels.
Visit www.4car.co.uk and vote for the most beautiful classic cars in the world. Select the same 10 cars as I do and you could win a day out at Brands Hatch.
I'm not a dentist, but after eating, I chew Orbit sugar-free gum.
With its unique control blade independent rear suspension, the Ford Focus gives you ultimate control.
Go on, son. It eats!
Listerine kills the bacteria between your teeth.
They rock hard, they.
Giving healthier teeth and gums.
If you suffer from hay fever or other allergies, Benadryl Allergy Relief starts working in 15 minutes. No non-drowsy allergy tablet works faster.
After a hard day chasing antelope around the Serengeti, one craves the particular effervescence that comes only from Schweppes. An absolute tonic. Ooh. Hello, my dear. Would you care to join me for dinner later?
What about my boyfriend?
Well, I like elephants, but I couldn't eat a whole one. Schweppes, just a little more bite.
Comrades, we demand the right to free business news delivered every morning by email.
By 7 a.m.
We demand the right to choose exactly which news is delivered to our desktop.
What, relevant? To my industry?
Yes, comrade, your industry. Nice one, Len. Thank you, matey. News by email. We don't want Karl Marx. We want Deutschmarks, dollars.
Have you got the FT.com competitive edge?
The Sisters of Murphys. Guardian angels watching over the Murphys drinker.
The boys watch the girls.
The best TV ads ever. 46 classic TV ad tunes on a great value double deluxe twin set. Remember those catchy little tunes that inspired you to buy cars, soup and cheese? Well, they're all here on the best TV ads ever.
I'm not a dentist! But after eating, I chew Orbit sugar-free gum!
Visit our website at www.4car.co.uk and vote for the most beautiful classic cars in the world. Select the same 10 as our very own Richard Sutton and you could win a day out at Brands Hatch Racetrack.
It's hard to talk about the Honda Concerto without referring to the Rover 200 series. Under the skin, they're virtually identical cars. Only lots of things that came on the Rover's a la carte menu of options are standard on the Honda. That means you've got electric windows all round, central door locking and a three-way sunroof. So if you're after budget refinement, one of these makes a lot of sense. Now, Mark and Sofia have already increased the size of their family and they've bought a bigger car. So their Honda Concerto has to be sold.
Hello, I'm Mark and this is my partner Sofia.
And this is Rhonda the Honda, our Honda Concerto and old baby that we're sadly having to give up for our new baby.
It's been a really good buy. It's been absolutely reliable and it's great. I've had a lot of cars in the past and I've had quite a few old bangers, and it's just that, you know, knowing when you go out in the morning the car's always going to start, and it's just we've never had any trouble with it at all, apart from the scrapes and bumps that we've given it. It's just been so good to have a reliable car.
We're selling it because we fancied a change, and because we run our own business and we do a lot of deliveries, and we have to put the seats down all the time, which is not going to be convenient when our little arrival comes in about 7 weeks' time, when we're going to have a baby seat permanently in the back of the car. This is our new purchase, a Subaru Legacy, which, like the impending arrival, is as yet unnamed and has usurped poor Rhonda the Honda in our affections. I was desperately trying to slow us both down and I've not succeeded at all. We've actually bought a faster car and it's supposed to be a family car for driving a baby around, and so I failed completely there to buy something sensible.
But I'll get you to the hospital quickly should
should my waters break.
We're advertising the car for $2,400, which we think is a little bit less than she's really worth. But with the high mileage, we think that's a fair price.
But we're not taking any less than $2,250, and that's final.
A lot of Concertos have been owned by the older generation, and as such their performance may have been tested less than the paintwork. So it's a good idea to get your specs on and check out for any signs of accident damage. Because while Hondas have a cheap and cheerful image, a lot of these parts are actually surprisingly expensive to replace. This wing mirror, for example, is £100, and down here, this front bumper is a cool £200. Make sure you take all of this into account before you do your bargaining.
Like most Japanese cars, the Honda Concerto is very reliable. But it might interest you to know that this is the same 1.6 injection engine that is used in Honda's sporty coupe, the CRX. So if you can cope with the Concerto's rather bland styling, you're in for a pretty sporty ride. But performance costs money, and the Concerto's Achilles heel is its 7,500 mile service interval. Many owners will have been tempted to miss a few of those. So check the book.
Ah, they're about to have a baby, and Rhonda the Honda looks in fantastic condition. I'll give 2,300 quid for that car just for the reassurance of knowing where it come from.
Michael, you're getting too involved with the clients. There's loads of these on the market. The prices are coming down. You can get a good one like hers for no more than £2,000.
Oh, blimey. Let's see what happens.
Well, the good news is we have a prospective buyer coming along to see the car this afternoon, and hopefully he's going to buy. John.
Hi.
I'm Mark.
Pleased
to meet you. This is Sofia.
Hi. Pleased to meet you, Sophia. Brought along a friend of mine, mechanic friend Tommy.
Pleased to meet you, Tommy.
Any chance we might be able to get outside, have a quick look at the vehicle?
Yeah, on you go, right away.
Right, thank you. Smooth sounding engine. Fairly straight body mouse. Fairly straight. So I don't know the price, John.
They're having a heavy discussion out there.
Let's spin that again.
I'm going to try and beat us down now.
For a 1.6, it packs quite a punch.
It does, yeah.
So it's a bit noisy. Just about every panel's got a mark on it. Near side front wing, quite a big dent in it. Such a pity that is. It's going to affect the price, I think. Well, I think we'd be talking 2,190. Yeah, I think so.
Well, the bargaining point will be the bodywork because of the scratches on the bodywork. So.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah. So, but I think they're definitely interested. They like the car, and we'll go to 2,250, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we can really afford to go any lower than that.
No, we're not going to go any lower than that. Okay, John, what do you reckon? You like it?
Yeah.
Interested?
Quite a lot of body panel damage, particularly the near side wing at the front there.
Well, there's damage on that wing. It's not a lot. There's a bit on that wing.
The door.
Well, the door will push out.
Scrape on the roof, scrape on the bonnet, and one of them is starting to turn rusty. Cosmetic stuff around the back here.
Yeah, well, it is 6.5 years old, and so you've got to expect these things on a 6.5-year-old car. And we have taken them into account because the car is worth more than what we're asking at 2.4. It's worth at least 2,650, if not more. That's in an average condition.
Right.
It's worth that, and I think it's worth.
I'll be willing to offer 2.2.
2.2. Nah, I'm not taking 2.2. That's below what we got offered in a trade-in.
How low are you willing to go?
I'll meet you halfway. 2.3.
2.3. 2.250.
No, 2.3 is what we need for it. 2.3.
2.275.
2,275 done. Okay, doke.
Okay, no problem at all.
Car. Thank you very much. And then we are Sofia.
Thank you very much. Well,
nice to do business with you.
Nice to do business with you, Jude.
I think it was worth more, but we're still happy.
I definitely think it was worth more, but hey
ho.
Them's the brakes or something.
Well, what a result! There I was, just about to start feeling sorry for them, and they go and pull off a deal like that. And it just goes to show that if you're selling a car that you really believe in, you can usually afford to hold out for a higher price because you'll probably get it. Mike, it looks as if you've finally come to your senses, mate. What is this?
How could you ever doubt me, Richard? This is a cracking car. And do you know what? I'd even have one myself. Check this out. Now, I know you're used to seeing me driving a sporty little number, and you're going to think that I borrowed this off me granddad. But I've got something to show you. The Rover P6. Thanks to lock, stock and 2 smoking barrels, the P6 is now a seriously hip car. But the good thing is nobody knows whether you're taking the kids off down to the swimming pool or whether you're taking the lads to the heist. This great British Bulldog is the 3500S. It was introduced in the 70s and in my opinion, the best in the range. A real old boy racer's car. And it's got an all-aluminium Buick V8 engine that can take this car from 0 to 60 in 9 seconds and has a top speed of 125 mile an hour. They're a DIY mechanics dream and there are loads of them around and you can pick them up for as little as 25 quid.
Driving even the top of the range 3.5 litre P6 will not set the road on fire. The steering's a bit heavy and the acceleration is hardly breathtaking. But it's a quietly capable car, elegantly designed, and if it does take a while to reach 60, it ain't half comfy getting there.
I'm sitting in Ambler boxed pleat seats, I'll have you know, and they're really comfortable bucket seats, like something you'd find in an old performance car. Opposite the choke, check out the petrol reserve switch. If you ever run out of petrol, just flick the switch and it'll give you enough fuel to get you home. On the outside, check out the S-trim black and polished steel wheels. The wheel nuts poke through, so you can remove the wheels without taking off the wheel trims. Ideal for lazy ones like me. And if I've tickled your taste buds and you're thinking about buying one, what do you need to look out for?
These cars get used every day. They're affordable classics and probably have been used every day. So, make sure you check these outer wings for any signs of rust, but they can easily be replaced. No, you should worry more about checking for hidden dangers lurking underneath on the base units. You can check the D-post by opening the door and checking here for any signs of rust. And remember, to get yourself under this easily removed rear seat, pull back the carpets, dig your hands down in the sill for any signs of rot there too. Look out for cars with the rare desirable leather interior. Especially red, you may have found a gem. Other options include headrests, Ross-style wheels and a sports steering wheel. Even rare options include electric windows and air conditioning. Now under here is the all-aluminium Buick V8. So, where do we start? Well, not under here actually. Turn it over and wait for it to get warm. Check the oil pressure gauge. It should read over 30. 15 is fine, but it means your engine's a bit tired and they're not cheap to repair, so just walk away. So, what should you pay for one of these great old British Bulldogs? Well, a decent manual P6 Rover with a V8 engine can set you back around £3,500. But for that, you will get a fairly decent car. Automatics are generally cheaper at around £3,000, but in my opinion, the manual is a better drive. If you pay any less than a bag of sand, that's £1,000 for your P6, then make sure you're handy with the old tools. But then again, parts are cheap and easy to come by, and they really do represent a challenge. So go on, I dare you, go out and buy one. They are the ultimate cruisemobile, and if they're good enough for Michael Caine in Get Carter, then they're good enough for me.
You know, Mike, I love these old Rovers. Beautiful, practical things. End of an era, mate.
Join us next week when, as well as all the usual suspects, we'll be buying a car with anything other than cash. We'll see you then.
See ya. Mike, you know, how long has it been? 3, 4 years it's taken me to even get you to look at a classic car, and now you're getting all excited about a Rover. What's going on?
I don't know, I must be getting old because I like this Citroen and I like this Volvo as well.
Don't do that.
It is, mate. It's just that I'm getting old, mate. You're listening.
For this week's stories, great bargains and a fully interactive experience, go to the Deals on Wheels website at 4car.co.uk.